Hi everyone, Donut here, and we're going to take a break from all the crazy fuckery of the world, especially this fuckery right here.
Get back! Get off me! Get off me! Get back!
A video which probably about 100 of you have sent me so far to get my take on it. Don't worry, Angry Cops and myself are going to take a look at that video together on stream tomorrow, and we might have a little bingo game going after that. What we are going to be talking about today is police gear, and not just any old police gear. We're going to be talking about all the shit that your department may not buy you. I get a lot of emails from people saying, Donut, I'm going into the police academy. This is awesome. I'm going to be a police officer. You may not know it, but there are certain pieces of equipment that your agency will not buy you, and that's what we're going to talk about. Some departments just don't have the budget to buy you all the extra stuff that you desperately need, and sometimes the people who make up the policies that issue you the equipment may not have been on the road for a few years. Either way, there's a decent chance that your agency isn't going to give you everything you need. Actually, that's like 100% chance because they're not going to buy you all the stuff we're going to talk about in this video. If you look up lists for police gear, they all suck. There are some that say bring a Glock and a flashlight and radio. No shit. And a lot of the other ones are written by people who have never been an actual police officer. Before we get into this, I just want to say thank you to all the other police officers who helped me put this list together. I'm going to leave links to everything I talk about in this video. I scoured Amazon for hours looking for the best products for the best price. A lot of these I've used personally. I just want to go ahead and say I have not been paid to endorse any of these products. They're just legitimate good products, and the majority of them I have used before. Oh, and an unboxing. The Violent Little Machine Shop sent me a little box of violence. Check this out. We're going to be doing a little unboxing at the end of this video. One of the most important pieces of equipment that you're going to need as a police officer is baby wipes. Not only are they good for code browns, they're very good for removing fingerprint dust. If you've ever worked with fingerprint dust, you know that it gets everywhere and it's very, very hard to get it off of yourself. Kind of like glitter or herpes. For those of you who have never messed around with fingerprint dust, water doesn't work. It just turns it into a muddy, black, gooey bullshit that also gets everywhere. The link that I left below has a little over 700 wipes for 17 bucks. It'll last you a lot of Taco Tuesdays. Next on the list, cheap ink pens. If you're like me, then you have your special ink pens that you don't want anyone else to ever touch. Your ink pens will get lost, stolen, and sometimes the people who you have write statements, you just don't want that ink pen back. Personal story time. My first few weeks out of FTO, I got called to a domestic violence. I pull up on scene and there's this guy standing there covered from head to toe in blood. You guys probably know that a cut on the scalp isn't usually fatal, but it bleeds like a son of a bitch, and that's what had happened. This guy's boyfriend had beat the shit out of him with a lamp. I walk up, of course I'm gonna have to take a statement because he got the shit beat out of him with a lamp. First thing he says to me when he hands me a bloody ID is, I just need you to know I'm HIV positive. I had to throw away one of my favorite pens that night. Next item is hand sanitizer. You're going to be running into a lot of people that you don't want to touch, but you're inevitably going to have to touch them. Well, what about gloves, Donut? Hey, guess what? There are going to be times when you will not have enough time to put gloves on before you go hands-on with someone. You're going to touch blood, shit, piss. Blood, shit, and piss mixed together. Welcome to policing. Just get some hand sanitizer. You're going to use the hell out of it. Jumper cables, the longer the better. You're going to pull up to a hot call one day, jump out of your car, and leave your lights running, and it's going to die. Not only that, but you're going to help so many freaking people who need a jump. The single most important thing that I've seen a lot of agencies not issue their officers is a good tourniquet. I'm not going to get into a pissing match between what tourniquet is better. In my personal opinion, you shouldn't get a tourniquet with a plastic windlass on it. The windlass is the little turny thingy. This guy right here. I was talking to Josh Brooks of Funker 530 a while back, and he was telling me about after a firefight he got into when he was overseas, there was a guy that they had to put some tourniquets on. He was saying they put 4 of the cat tourniquets on him with the plastic windlasses, and they kept cranking the windlasses right off of them and breaking them. One of my favorite tourniquets is the SOF-T wide or the SOF-T wide made by Tactical Medical Solutions. Another one of my favorites is Jeff Kirkham's tourniquet, the Rats tourniquet. You can get a holder for them to go in your duty belt. I never wore one because I didn't want to overcrowd my belt, so I usually just kept it in my cargo pocket. Tourniquets are probably one of the most valuable things that you're going to be carrying on you as a police officer, but do not forget about the little boo-boos. You're going to fight people, you're going to fall down, you're going to fall off fences, you're going to get your little bumps and bruises and scrapes. Not only that, but nothing says community-oriented policing quite like being able to bandage up a kid that has a scrape on their knee. Get a key ring holder for your belt. You will lock your keys in your car. Get into the habit of having that on your belt and slapping your keys into it. It'll decrease the chances that you're going to have to call your sergeant and be like, I did something, Sergeant. Window punch seatbelt cutter combo, self-explanatory. It can go through windows easier than your baton, and it can cut through seatbelts better than your knife. You don't want to go cutting people's nipples off with your knife when you have to pull them out of their car after they ran from you and flipped it at 120 miles per hour into a tree. A Leatherman or a multi-tool. Get one. You're gonna need it. You will use it almost every day, probably. There are $20 multi-tools all over Amazon. I would go and spend a little bit extra money and get an actual Leatherman. Some of my personal favorites are the Surge and the OHT. Gotta get them in black. Come on, you're a cop. You gotta be tactical, right? Can't go wrong with them. If you break them, they have a 25-year warranty. You can just send them back to Leatherman and they'll fix it for you. Car seat organizer. For organizing. Don't think you can shove all your shit in a backpack. It's not going to work. Some of the best priced ones for the quality come from Uncle Mike's. They have one that goes over your seat, and they also have one that sits in the seat. Get a Backscratcher. Trust me, you're going to need it, especially during the summertime. Have you ever been out in public and you see a police officer beating the shit out of his own back? It's because you wear a vest for 12 plus hours a day, you get a little soupy, and shit starts to itch. A handcuff key shaped like a pin. I'm sure a lot of departments hand these out. My department didn't. We had to go buy our own. Way better than fumbling around with a tiny ass handcuff key. Other stuff that we're going to talk about is not quite a necessity. It was just my personal preference. If your agency allows it, get an earpiece to go into your radio. I always liked them so the people I was about to arrest didn't hear dispatch coming back and confirming that they had warrants. There are professional criminals out there who know police codes, and if they're sitting in front of you and they hear 1099, they might take off or punch you in your face. I can't tell you exactly what earpiece to get because radios are built differently. You're going to have different ports for different kinds of plugs, but I can tell you if you get the acoustic type earpieces with the little clear tube, get these kinds of earpieces. The little stock shitty ones will fall out of your ear. I would also say get a pack of cigarettes to keep in your gear bag. Even if you don't smoke, they're great for building rapport with certain people. You'd be surprised how friendly some people are when you pull up on scene, they're stressed out and they ask you for a cigarette and you can actually give them one. We had some local charities that would give us teddy bears, just some cheap little stuffed something to give to kids. I would carry a few of those around. That's all I have as far as gear goes. If you can think of anything else, please leave it in the comments below. I found the Violent Little Machine Shop because I was looking for Roof Korean products, and it turns out they have a Roof Korean patch. Also included in the package that I received my Roof Korean patch in was a fake Quaalude. Let's go ahead, open this thing up, and see what they sent me. All right, starting this off with some greeting cards. You're an idiot. Don't fuck this up. Your butt is fun to play with. I want your stuff when you die. Oh, and let's not forget, fuck you. Buongiorno. Dominique Di Coco. These are fucking awesome. They sent me a lot of cool shit. We're gonna do a giveaway with a lot of this stuff later. I'm your Huckleberry. Fuck off, folks. Pickle Rick! God damn, how many patches did you guys send me? Here we go. Violent Little Lowlife. That is awesome, man. Thin blue line notepads. Just the tip, I promise. Okay, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Valhalla, admit one. And look, they also made one that can attach to a gun rail. If you guys have never seen the movie Man on Fire, go ahead and check it out. It's an amazing movie. And they sent me a Creasy Bear patch. And they make Creasy Bear stuff. That's really cool. Buffalo Bill's brand Precious Skin Lotion. It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Oh, you guys, Black Rifles matter. Damn, guys, you send enough stickers? God damn it, the stickers. Perhaps my favorite thing to come out of this entire box, though, is my new notebook. I definitely wasn't expecting all this, but I can say right now that they are probably the best morale patch company I've ever seen, and they make some badass stuff. You can check them out at violentlittle.com. They got an Instagram, a Twitter, a Facebook, all that stuff, and I'm going to be giving some of this stuff away within the next few days. Like I said, if I forgot any gear that you can think of that you absolutely need that your agency might not buy you, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Violent Little Machine Shop, I want to thank you so much for that little box of violence you sent me. Amazing stuff. Everyone, please have a fantastic day.
Stop! There's kids! Stop! There's kids! Stop! Stop! There's kids here! Stop! No! Stop! There's kids here! Kids! It's okay, say Renee, just listen! Renee, just listen! with you. All this stuff is happening.
Who are we gonna go with? Get on the ground.
Hermana Cristina, por favor.